Let's talk influencer marketing best practices for 2024 as we head into this new year. This is Brett Owens with Afluencer, and I'd like to share an interactive demo of how I actually use Afluencer myself, not only to promote our company, but I've got a special use case for you here, a book that I wrote. Books are, shall we say, impossible to market, very tough to do so cost effectively. There's almost nothing that works, just being honest with you. So everyone who wants to write a book, it's just kind of like a fact of life. The only thing that I found that works is working with influencers. So I'm going to take you through my own Afluencer account here, show you how I use it to invite influencers to collab, accept them, and how we get content produced that helps us market the impossible thing to market, which is our book. Okay, so let me take you through the product first. So as you do, we've got a product website. I mean, the sales drip in through the website. You can count them on your hand in a given month. Amazon does better, and that's kind of that necessary evil, right? Especially for books, but we've got it up on Amazon. 679 ratings, so you can see it's no joke, right? But the way that we've been able to get that going has been via influencers. So let me show you that workflow, because what I do is probably, hopefully applicable to how you market your product in terms of getting content created and getting influencers to leave you great reviews. This is all what we're looking for in the year 2024. All right, so here I am in my own Afluencer account. This is my dashboard, and I'm able to see my account on the left, the current applications that I have to review, and then the influencers that I may like over on the right. Let me go ahead and take you through the processes here. First, let me show you my collab. So I've got a collab posted. It's about the book and how we want to recruit influencer partners to work with it. So here's where I've got things defined. I said, hey, we're looking for 10K plus influencers and creators. Very specific, as you can see on our interest. Like I want finance, I want stock market influencers, and I want people who do books. It's a book about the stock market and finance, right? I'm not looking for beauty influencers, not that they couldn't potentially sell the product, but like anything with marketing, I want specificity, right? I want real focus, I want alignment. So I'll show you here, this is the collab. Over on the right, I've got our interests. I'm currently looking for US-based influencers. It costs me extra money to send Canada, Europe. I've done collabs in Canada and beyond before. It just cost me too much money to ship the book, so that's why my focus is on the US. I save the money for the paper post. So as you can see, I'm working mostly with micro influencers who I've defined as 10,000 influencers and above, and we're paying between $50 to $200 per post, or better yet, for a reel. And you can see that I define that in our About section. I also define that in my collab. So as I create my collab, this is now behind the scenes where I go to my account, my collabs, and edit. And by the way, I'm doing all of this, don't tell the company owner, but I'm doing all this on the free plan on Afluencer. So you can get your brand created, you can get a collab up and running, you do it all for free. Of course, there's premium plans available. I would love for you to upgrade, but again, this is actually all on the free plan, so just to let you know. All right, so here's my collab. So again, I've got a little the header in there with our book. I actually could do better if I had less text, would be nice. Actually, just kind of the books would be okay, but you know, it is what it is for now. It's good enough to get it out there. You can see the About section just kind of talks about the book and the opportunity. In the welcome message here, this is where I'm saying, hey, tell me what you can do in terms of promoting the book. You're the creator. I want to give you the creative control, okay? So you create and I'll pay you. I'll send you a book for free. Just leave me, create great content, and leave us a great review on Amazon, preferably Goodreads if you can also, right? And that's gonna help us keep the momentum going. I didn't say great review, I said help us out with a review, but I mean, come on. We're doing 5 stars, right? We all understand that as this comes out. So I've got my criteria. So again, most influence in, so I'm looking for these US-based influencers for my case. Finance, stock market, and books are my 3 interests. As you can see, I would need to upgrade for more interest. So if you've got more that you want to target, you can upgrade to a paid plan or install our Shopify app to do that. Channels, I don't have a specific preference. Instagram is always the focus, but I'm open to hearing from influencers that they've got traction on other platforms. So I kind of leave that open-ended. As I mentioned, 10,000 or above, that's our micro influencer range. And then age group, I don't have a preference. Gender, I don't have a preference. You may, and if you do, and you've got demographics that you want to target, you can go ahead and fill that out there. Matching mode is important. Matching mode says that only criteria who meet the selected criteria can apply here. So I would recommend doing that. And then what do we pay? We pay between $50 and $200 per post. And let me show you how I negotiate that. So if I go to my collabs again, my applicants, he says, is everyone who's applied to my collab. I worked with Aaron here most recently. Shout out to Aaron. Aaron did a really nice job. I loved his profile. Busy dad, he's got an energetic daughter, sounds familiar. Husband to an amazing wife, sounds familiar, right? And he does a million different things. Police officer, real estate agent, content creator, main focus Instagram. So he was a great fit for me. So I was really glad that Aaron applied. So I approved his application, and then we had a nice back and forth. And this is in our Afluencer messages where I said, hey, here's what we're looking for. We go back and forth. Aaron sends me the post. He actually sent me a preview of the post, and then he sent me a post. And Aaron, I loved, he was all about sales. So he posted for me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube Shorts. So he did a reel that basically applied to the 4 platforms, which was perfect. And then he also hooked me up with a review. So that was really awesome on Aaron's part. And you can see he did a great job with the video too, kind of him talking back and forth, having this conversation about financial independence, retiring, the importance of knowing what you're doing in terms of picking stocks that can drive income and that type of thing. So he gave us this really great effort that I was thrilled with. And then I was able to pay him out. So I paid him via PayPal, said, hey, let's stay in touch. So that's how it goes with my collabs here. You can say a great collab with Stephanie here. So same thing. My standpoint, I don't necessarily require that they send me the preview ahead of time. You're more than welcome to require it if you would like to make sure what they're posting is on brand for you. So that's an option as well. You can also get their contact info. So if I wanted to do a Zoom with Aaron or get his phone number or text with these guys or Stephanie, you can do that as well. So you can exchange contact info in here. That is no problem. In terms of payment, as I mentioned, we don't have payments going through Afluencer currently. Always building new features, of course, but not currently. So I pay our influencers usually via PayPal. Some like Venmo. I paid a couple on Venmo, and I did set up a corporate Venmo account for Afluencer to pay them. But PayPal is still kind of the traditional one. So I do pay them out via PayPal. So easy enough on that front. What else do I want to tell you? Let's go through a current application. So I've got an application here from a finance focused person. So let me show you how I go through these paces. So for Taryn here, I want to see his engagement rate, and I can look and I can see he's way over on the edge and for nano influencers. So doing okay with the 5.5% engagement rate, but you see the nanos, their engagement rate tends to trend higher and then it goes down over time. That's perfectly normal. That's why we rank people with respect to their peers. So again, Taryn doesn't have that many that many followers. So there's a lot of noise here currently. As he gains followers, that will smooth out. And I can see his current post may not be the best fit for me, but he does have some stuff. Oh, he's a podcaster. So I may want to just approve him. If I approve him, it's not binding, but I can do that. And then I could have a conversation with him. And I just hit the thumbs up to do that. And that'll start a direct chat. So there's nothing binding, nothing saying that I have to work with Taryn. That's just saying, hey, let's talk more if you hit the thumbs up. If he doesn't look like a fit, then the thumbs down would be the way to go. Don't feel bad about thumbs downing someone. The app doesn't tell them, it just kind of fades away into decline land. So you can do that to kind of keep track of things. Or on your applications, you can also, over on the ... you can accept or decline here. And then again, if I accept Taryn, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have a direct message back and forth. Now, if I want to be aggressive and go ahead and invite influencers, I can also go ahead and do that. And I can see influencers who I may like over here. Shay Bedwell, who's interested in travel books. And I can check out Shay's engagement rate over here and see how she's doing. And if I want to invite Shay, I can invite her to collab. Again, I can see her recent content over here, and I can also see Shay's engagement rate on each of her given posts. Now, another way that I can slice and dice all this info, Solomon here, so same idea. She has YouTube hooked up. So YouTube, that might be a different, again, a video focused collab, but we've got the YouTube stats. and all that good stuff here. And then we show how she's doing with her YouTube engagement rate as well. Final thing I want to show you is how you can view matches and then invite potential influencers. And the way that you can do that is this view matches hyperlink is going to sort the influencer directory automatically based on the criteria that we have outlined here. So we can go ahead and we can create this, and then you can also hit the filters and tweak the content here. So if I want to say, hey, I'm only looking for people with really sky high engagement rates, I can do that. If I want to add in Canada and see what that looks like, if I want to just say, hey, I'm gonna bite the bullet, I'm just gonna pay the $40 to ship the book to Canada, I can do that here and see what it looks like. So I've got, of course, our 4 influencers here, but I can see how everyone looks like. So Claire, nano influencer, but with a really high engagement rate, 6.8%. That's a nice thing about working with nanos. Maybe I want to invite Claire to the collab, and I can go ahead and I can invite her this way. Before I let you go, I have one question. Gary writing in. Gary says, we work with travel influencers, and I like to be able to get eyes on how many you have in that space before we sign up. Also, how many brands are on the platform. So let's go ahead and take these questions, as these are both great questions. So in terms of travel influencers, let's go ahead and get through it. So I'm going to clear the filters. So I'm going to look at our total influencer directory, which is 21,716 total influencers. Under interest now, I'm going to winnow this down. So the 21,000 number, let's talk about this. These are actual users of the Afluencer app, which is a big advantage over perhaps other platforms that you're looking at or that you've seen that say they've got access to 1 million influencers. I mean, they've got access in terms of like they can tell you, point to their Instagram handle, but you've still got a lot of hoops to go through in terms of getting a hold of them, DMing these influencers. I mean, a lot of the circus still left to be played out there. So that's kind of a pain. In my opinion, big advantage having them in the app. It's easy to approve them and message with them. So on the living side here, this is where we'll find our travel influencers for Gary here. So now we're at 1,988. So again, these are active users of our app here, Gary. And then if we want to further narrow down, and let's say we're looking for US focused travel influencers, not only based in the US, but most of their influences in the US. So we're discounting the influencers who may have lots of followers in India or something that may not look completely authentic. 485 travel influencers on this front. So that's kind of how it breaks down. We also, your other question, how many brands do we have on the platform? That's a good question. It's at least a couple thousand. You can see our pages of our brands here, a couple thousand, almost at 5,000, 4,797 brands with a presence here. And then our active collabs under the collab directory, you can see we have 285. And these are active. So these are being actively managed by the brands. And to our influencer friends, we do stress active. So if they're not being managed, we archive them. So as a brand, we say, hey, do you want to keep this collab active? If not, if we're not actively hiring, that's fine. We just don't want to display that here. We only want active opportunities here. Okay, and I lied. One more question from Jackie here. When it shows the last time the influencers was seen, is that the last time logged on the platform? Yeah, that's correct, Jackie. So that's the last time they were logged on the platform. So that's one way to consider as you send out your invites. Although that said, I mean, if you have a good offer, that's something that I can get somebody to log in today, even if they haven't been there for 6 months. So I wouldn't necessarily let that stop you. But we also have other great ways to get you featured in front of the active influencers. So we're really designed so that, to be honest, I don't send many invites out myself. I just kind of log in. I field the applications and I take it away. I just don't have time to be inviting people one at a time. So that's how the app is built. Ways to optimize this. So of course, create a collab, make it public, give it a good offer. And when I say public, under status here, private, public. Private means is there, but you can only send out invites. Public means it's public to our influencers. They can apply. And then a couple more ways that you can get a hold of them. One is going to be through our email newsletter, which goes out every Thursday to our influencers. Again, this goes out to all 21,000. So even if they haven't logged in a while, they will still receive this via email. And it's going to look something like this. This is the influencer newsletter that we sent out yesterday, and we feature specific collabs. So if you have a new collab, just give me a shout. Let me know. We'd be happy to feature you here. It's a great way to get initial traction with our influencers. Another great way is to just turn on your camera and mic and yap with me on our podcast. And this is something that I do once or twice a week where I record with our brands. And then we publish this out to YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, all the popular podcast channels. But also we get it out in our influencer newsletter as well. And we'll put your collab right next to it. So it's a great way to kind of bring your brand and collab to life, and again, activate people. Maybe they're not active here currently, but it's a great way to get that exposure. So typically with a good offer on a product that is, and we've got over 60 different interests, we've got a lot of different applications for the product. So typically we have a spot for you that we can get you some good influencers on the inbound basis. You don't have to worry about the invites too much. So that's kind of my rant on that. All right. Other things, if you would like to do a one-on-one with me, I do make my calendar available. So I'll put it in the chat here. And then if you have any questions, you can follow up, or you can also ping me directly and you can go ahead and book time. And that's just us one-on-one saying, hey, we're looking for travel influencers for Gary. Let's go ahead and let's dial that in. So you can book time on my calendar. If you're interested, I'll put it in the chat window. And if you're watching this on demand, just reach out to Afluencer and we can get you the latest link in terms of booking these. And usually if we hop on, me for about 20 minutes, we kind of talk through most of the stuff, and I can kind of demo things specific to your brand, and we can even pull influencer lists if you want to see that. So you don't necessarily have to be an active user to take advantage of this. If you're thinking about the platform, we can just hop on for a few minutes, pull some lists, see if it makes sense for you to sign up. All right, with that, I thank everyone for joining. And if you're watching this on demand, I would love to hear your questions. So please do leave a question under the video, letting me know what your biggest question is about the Afluencer platform, and we will get that answered for you. If you're live on the call, same thing. So any emails you get about this webinar, go back to me. You think anything after, just go ahead, reply back. With that, I'll let you go. Have a great rest of your Friday, everyone. Great weekend ahead. Hope to talk to you soon.